It's the only person below White Holiday in the ComicsGate phone book. It's my favorite failed clone of Peter Sammetti. The YouTube WyzGyz. How you doing, comrade? Welcome to the show.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to WyzGyz Entertainment. This is your host, Wyman. We are joined today by the mysterious Mr. E. How are you?
I am good. I'm good. I'm, trying to stay warm and making comics. So
Fantastic. Welcome, Matanui. Matanui is here. Welcome, Devosh. Sneaking over here as well. Good to have you. Good to have you. For those of you new to this book, would you first start by... Oh, that's your cat back there.
yeah, I have a few cats. They're hanging out.
Oh my gosh.
Hanging out.
That's cool. You got like a jungle gym for them.
Yeah. Well, these are my comic books in boxes. I haven't put them away anywhere. I still have them in this room. So
wow.
They're just like laying on top of them. The boxes are sealed, so I'm not worried about it. But yeah. This one right here is special needs. So she's special needs. She's a retarded cat.
Really?
Yeah, and she doesn't get along with basically most of the cats. So she's just sitting there complaining right now. She's just like, "Oh man, get away from me!"
Snarf, snarf.
Right.
Oh my, those are cool looking cats.
Yeah, this one here is Dorian Gray. He'll make his way over here and plop down and pretty much demand that I pet him. It's just a matter of time. And then back there on the cat tree is Darla. Is that you? Hey. Yep, that's Darla. So
they respond to their names?
Usually.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a trip.
Well, they've been called their names since they were kittens, so they know it. Domino. Watch, she'll look. Domino. Not gonna.
That is awesome. How cool is that?
You hear her complaining?
Yeah. Hello, Simon.
Hey, what's up, Sim?
How's it going? Good to have you. Are we taking a moment and tell everyone, how you got into comics?
How I got into comics. I was writing a movie for this character, Captain Love, and this is how I got into making comics. The illustrator that was doing the storyboards suggested that I do the backstory of the character and in a graphic novel format, and that started doing. I mean, it looked really, really good. It was fun. It was catching on. People were impressed by it, so turned it into a full-on, blown-out series. So, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's not just a single backstory graphic novel. Now it's chapter 1, chapter 2 is coming out shortly. Hopefully, most likely, everybody in the United States will get theirs by Christmas. I say hopefully because the post office is unpredictable, especially I'll give myself plenty of ship time ahead of time for the U.S. Some people out of the country will probably get theirs too, but pretty much almost everybody in the U.S. will get their chapter 2 by Christmas. So.
Oh my gosh, really? That's pretty.
Hopefully, I mean, it only takes. I mean, from here to New York, it only takes 9 days. You know what I mean? At the longest, usually. So, and you know what I mean? At the longest. I mean, that's like when mail is like super slow and congested. And so if I give myself 2 weeks, I should be able to hit it in time. So.
And whereabouts are you again?
I'm in California, Central Valley.
All right. Well, it was weird. I'm originally from the SF Bay Area, California. Technically Northern California, even though it looked like we're roughly central. But it was weird because we would mail things to Los Angeles, San Fernando Valley, and it seemed to take nearly a week. It was so weird.
Yeah. Well, it depends on how big the area you're mailing to, because it's got to sort. I mean, so if you mail to a small town, you know what I mean, it's gonna get to like whatever hubs it gets to that small town, it'll stop and just go, stop and go. So
Mm-hmm.
if it's one that has like a bunch of hubs that get there, that take to get there take forever. However, you don't have to sort at a major small level, because basically when it gets to that town, they pretty much are able to whip it out in like 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes. You know what I mean? Because they have nothing left. But if you like send to like LA,
Uh-huh.
especially if it's like the 93 was it 93212 or something like that. No, I forget, the 90211. That zip code is like a huge area, right? And so like if you're zipping into that zip, it goes into the hub for 90211, and then in that hub they have to filter through it, and there's a lot of businesses, a lot of residences, you know what I mean? So it takes a lot of time to sift through all that, and they usually do packages first, and then letter size and go down. So if you have like a standard size letter, you know what I mean? Now the beautiful thing is a lot of like if you use an automated postage system, you know what I mean? Like you run your stuff through a machine, right? You'll go all automated, and like no person will actually have to sort your stuff, because the machines will be able to do letters. It's a regular size letter, just go through. It's automated. There's a little code, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I'm sure you've seen these little code bars, you know what I mean, in mail and stuff like that. Yeah, that's to speed up the process of the mail. So.
Oh wow, jeez, you know the ins and outs of it.
I've been around a while. Yeah.
Is that that zip code you mentioned? Is that neighboring Beverly Hills 90210?
Yeah, they usually the numbers butt up next to each other. It's I believe 90211 is a lot of like LA Central.
Okay, right on. Yeah, so hello, Sim. Zevia says, sup, nerds. Sim says, Dorian Gray is like, I'm the king in here.
Yeah, pretty much.
You will do my bidding, or off with your head. And Captain Love, how long was it? How long had you been working on a Captain Love movie?
Well, okay, so Captain Love first, started in its inception probably back in, shoot, dates are weird now. I don't know. Let's see. It's basically 6 or 7 years old now. You know what I mean? Because 4, 5, 6 years. So it started 6 years ago, maybe almost 7 years ago, and and then it was just a movie for that I was working on for the first first year and a half, and then it evolved over the time, and then it was a completed graphic novel nearly 2 years ago, year and a half, nearly 2 years ago. And then I basically spent almost a year trying to figure out how to distribute it, and then came across the CG community, and was able to find a way to crowdfund that would be reliably successful, and offer a traffic friendly, already traveled platform that people might stumble across the book, that kind of stuff. So it just seemed like a distribution platform. So I what I mean, that kind of like saved. I mean, I didn't have the money to print it at the level I wanted, and my campaign didn't go to the level I wanted anyway. So I had to, shift the idea, and I had to be a businessman and think, okay, well, this is how it's going to work. How do I make the shift, and then how do I guarantee that I can keep this going,
Mhm.
So I just come up with strategies to make that happen. So
Nice. Nice. So this is chapter 2. How many chapters are going to be in the entire saga?
on the entire saga, I mean, in the Rise of the Pirate King book, there's 6 chapters.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right.
So basically, I'm doing that approach. I'm doing graphic novels by chapter. So, but at the same time, those chapters are like the equivalent of an issue. You know what I mean? So, like if you were having something issued, so like chapter 1 technically is issue 1, chapter 2 will be issue 2, etc., through chapter 6, and then the next book, which title I'm not communicating to anybody yet. The next book, the first chapter of that book would actually be issue 7.
Wow. That's
You
good.
know,
That
and then
could,
I'll probably start doing that. I noticed that the whole calling things by chapter has been confusing everybody because it's the second volume, second chapter. Everybody's confused. You know what I mean? And so like I'm after this, I'm probably just going to promote the issues individually after Rise of the Pirate King. I'll probably just promote the issues individually. So it'll be issue 7, which will have its own title, because obviously chapter 2 has its own title. It's the Secret Station, and so like I'll just basically promote them as issues after that, and then it'll still be 6 issues to a story arc, and then that'll go into a graphic novel with its own title. So
very cool. Oh, dang it. I did it again. Let's play the trailer here. This is fun.
Hi, my name is Drewish, and I'm the author of the Captain Love series. I'll tell you all about the second book, Rise of the Pirate King. Yeah, that's a thing. And in this book, you're gonna get everything that you would expect from Captain Love. Yeah, you bet. And I'm blessed enough to be able to use an amazing creative team. If you know what I mean, it feels like the universe is caving in and love to the rescue. And it seems like nothing will be right again. And love to the rescue. Captain Love to the rescue. Oh. Now, Captain Love is a space trucker and a former war hero. There is even a legend that he may be immortal. He's accompanied by a spade, who is a living AI. Yes, I said immortal. As in, he cannot die, and it feels like the universe is caving love to the rescue. And it seems like nothing will be right again, and love to the rescue. Captain Love to the rescue. Oh yeah. In this book, you'll get space pirates, sexy girls, and science monks. There'll be bar fights, space battles, and a lot of awesome junk. There's nudity and violence and swearing within, so this book is mature. That means it's not made for children. And you feel like the universe is caving in. There'll be love to the rescue. And it seems like nothing will be right up there. There'll be love to the rescue. Captain 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 Love to the rescue. Thank you for your time. Please back Captain Love and help me share this character with the whole world. And if you're not too busy, like and share this video and help me spread the love. Stay awesome.
I'm really glad people aren't sick of that song.
I actually enjoy it. I mean, for I guess the majority of campaigns, you want to keep it to like 30 seconds to a minute.
Yeah, if you watch the second video, that's more like what a campaign video would be like.
Let's look at that.
Yeah.
Greetings, my name is Spade. That stands for Synchronized Protocol Artificial Intelligence Delegate, and I am living software. I want to tell you about this amazing person I'm blessed enough to be companions with. His name is LUV. Captain LUV is a space trucker and a famous war hero. He once saved the solar system from Madman's reign. Some people believe him to be immortal, but if you were to ask him, he would say he just hasn't died yet. Captain LUV regularly, and somewhat reluctantly, finds himself on wild adventures that could potentially change the course of the solar system. There always seems to be a friend of his in trouble, and some sinister person, evil organization, or jealous husband trying to kill him. Sometimes it's friends, or a woman's attention, that gets him in what seems like a tough situation. But regardless, I am always there with him. I look after him, and I know him better than anyone ever will. He is a really good man, no matter what anyone else says.
And you feel like the universe is giving in, helping love to the rescue. And it seems like nothing will be right up there, helping love to the rescue. Captain Love to the rescue. Captain Love to the rescue. Captain Love to the rescue.
Yeah, that's only 1.5 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, that one. I kind of like enjoying and being creative about promoting. It's basically promoting a book in 7 campaigns. It kind of pushes me to work my angles because I don't want to do spoilers. You know what I mean? I don't want to tell you what's in chapter 2, other than the vague cover, because I don't want to spoil it. I'd rather you read the 24 pages and get your own excitement out of it. And so I'm what my plan basically is to just basically hype Captain LUV as much as possible, explain to people who Captain LUV is, and maybe introduce some of the key characters a little bit, so that people get a feel of what the universe is like, and then they're going to want to invest themselves in this series. And let me tell you, the right now is the time to get everything, because once this thing gets to be 4 or 5 actual books into the series, not issues, but I mean books, which would be, let's say 4, that would be times 6, which is 24 issues in. You know what I mean? Issue 1, issue 2 are not going to be available. I have no plans to do any reissue of those. So if you are a collector of floppies and you want something that's starting out as extremely rare, and will even be even more rare as time progresses, I tell you, Captain LUV's a good investment, because you can get chapter, especially on this campaign. I'm the only campaign that on Indiegogo that you can get Captain LUV all 3. You can order the graphic novel story, the first volume of the backstory of Captain LUV. You can get chapter 1 and chapter 2 all ordered here on the chapter 2 campaign, and then when it fulfills, you'll get all 3 of them, and the goodies that come with the campaign, and you'll be set. So if you don't have it, this is the time to get it, because inventory runs out. Right now I do have a lot of inventory. COVID has fucked my game plans on going to conventions and selling books. It really has. So, but however, the few conventions I've been able to go to, Captain LUV has a tremendous response.
Nice.
So based on, as somebody who does marketing for a living, based on the elements that I have seen so far, Captain LUV is going to be very successful. It's just that right on its baby steps, it got hit by the pandemic.
It doesn't help anyone.
No, especially if your game plan it involves, one-on-one in-person contact at conventions, and they're all shut down.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a few conventions, not a few. I mean, like a lot of conventions out there that I've put deposits on that they just basically don't even know when they're going to actually be able to do the convention. They're guessing when they're, when they're going to be able to put another convention on. And so my deposits just rolled over. I mean, I imagine I could demand them back, you know what I mean? But then if I did that, I might lose those slots when those, you know what I mean? Because I have prime slots in all these conventions. And so it's going to, I mean, when it comes back, and the beautiful thing is I'll have, the volume 1, graphic novel done, and I'll have a few chapters done,
Yeah.
I mean, at least, I mean, if it's depending on when conventions come back, I mean, it doesn't look like they're coming back until, I mean, at the earliest, possibly spring, at the earliest. And most people are assuming it won't even be till next summer. And then there are even people that are saying that it won't even be till next fall. So if that's the case, it gives me time to get some more chapters out.
Yep.
But that's where I need to rely on the community, because I don't have the conventions to distribute product.
Mm-hmm.
So I need people to order product, pre-order, you know what I mean? Get in there and get the books, now, help me make this series extremely successful. It's going to exist. You know what I mean? I am going to go to my grave making sure this thing happens all the way. It's already happened.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, technically, I've had 3 successful campaigns, so I mean, and those have been my only campaigns. So I have not had a failure of a campaign yet, which which tells me that Captain Love is going to sustain.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got the swing of things, and I've already started another, completely separate than the Captain Love universe. Another series is actually in production. It's actually in development right now.
Wow.
But at the same time, I got to keep Captain Love moving forward. And, however, because things have not been going as gangbusters as I would like, a lot of people just don't have money right now. You know what I mean? I've had a lot of I've had more refunds than I ever had on any other campaigns on this one.
Oh, wow.
It's just people, they got to pay their bills. You know what I mean? And it's like they can get an instant refund through Indiegogo, so it's, but people got to pay their bills. So they need the money back. You know what I mean? And that's happened a handful of times, not just one, not just 2. We're talking, a handful of times that's happened. And I feel for those people. You know what I mean? I hope that when they get, stabilized, they come back and get some more Captain Love. That'd be great, but in fact, I'm even going to on the next chapter, I'm going to have a deal for people that had to refund because of the pandemic. You know what I mean? I'm going to give them like a little discount so that they can come back. You know what I mean? But I'll just email them directly with a secret link. So, you know what I mean? Because I'll know those people. I mean, I know who went through that. I got their emails, and then they, so it's like, I'll just email them directly, contact them directly, invite them to come back for a secret perk. You know what I mean? That'll give them a little discount because they're going through hard times, and everybody needs some love, especially in hard times.
Oh yeah. It. When was the most recent convention you were able to make?
There was a very, very small one that was in Roseville, California, which is right outside Sacramento, right north of Sacramento. It was they actually called it a swap meet and not a convention, so they could get away with it, but it was indoors, and it was basically in a room, a size of like maybe 2 gymnasiums back to back. So it wasn't even like a large convention hall. But there was there were other, people I'd recognized from other conventions, and, a lot of cosplayers showed up, and, and I was able to sell enough books to pay for, the table and, a little bit more, you know what I mean? So it was definitely not a loss. Plus, my convention model is to gather emails. So I did a t-shirt giveaway, and I collected a shitload of emails, So so I definitely am stepping up the game on that, and I'm preparing for obviously it's gonna, I have time, but I'm preparing for an email collection system. So like when I'm at conventions again and I get that kind of stuff, I'm going to be able to take emails in. I'm actually putting back money right now to buy another iPad, because my iPad's freaking first generation ancient.
No. Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's old. It works, you know what I mean? But like, but it's basically worthless because it's first generation. It's old,
I've got
uh,
a channel.
no one cares about that kind of stuff. It's not like they collect those things. So you know what I mean. So, yeah. So I need to get a another iPad so that I can have the tech. But I figured the tech's going to change possibly one more time before that starts up. Who knows? You know what I mean? So I might as well just save up money, and then when it gets time to go and buy one, just go and buy it.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
that's where that's at. You know what I mean? And that the email collecting is the key. Just if you're a comic book seller, you know what I mean? Not if you're not, you can be the illustrator on it and not the seller. You know what I mean? The person who's the one that goes out and sells the books, you know what I mean? Collects the money, all that kind of stuff. Those people need to collect email addresses, because you need to be able to contact people and update people, keep people informed, to keep people engaged. And the trick is to go at it slow. If you come out the gates, gang busting, blowing people up, they're gonna drown you out. So what you got to do is you got to collect a massive amount of emails on the very, almost like on the down low. You know what I mean? Where like, it's like you don't tell these people you're intending to like, keep trying to keep them engaged. I mean, obviously they're signing up for something, they're giving your email, so they know they're going to be kept engaged. They're kept engaged, but you don't make a thing of it, and you don't start bombarding people, out, So like, I'm going to wait until probably, Rise the Pirate King is probably in chapter 4 or chapter 5, you know what I mean, before I start actually utilizing, my off Indiegogo email collection. You know what I mean? Even though those people will get like the occasional notice and that kind of stuff. The ones that, that I collected from because I want them to be engaged. I want to verify their email. You know what I mean? So I want them to do something off the email address, so I can say, yes, this is a real email address. This email address is active, and they actually check it. And that's those are just business strategies, marketing, online marketing business strategies. But it's really important. I mean, so having a distribution platform, a place that you can go to sell stuff, you know what I mean, is something that, the only thing that we have right now is the online model, because comic book stores, here are only been like allowed 10 people in at once. So doing a signing is absolutely ridiculous. You know what I mean? Because there's just not enough traffic.
Yeah.
So it's just, it's just about holding on and making it go, pushing it through, and just putting your hands together and praying to God that's all going to come together, and it's so far, it's been sustainable. You know what I mean? I can't live off Captain Love. You know what I mean? I'm not making any money off Captain Love right now, but I'm able to produce more Captain Love from the money that's coming in. So,
yep, absolutely.
So that's basically what the goal is, and anything above that, is beautiful. And hopefully, at some point when I have, a large number of series going, under my belt, like there'll be Captain Love and the one that I'm working on now in development, and maybe 2 or 3 or 4 more, as well as other things I got going on, then possibly I'll be able to live on this stuff. You know what I mean? And I could start telling my marketing clients, nah, not interested.
Yeah. Pale Rider says, Captain Love, one of the sexiest books out there. SS Titty.
AS Titty.
Matanui says, Captain Love still sounds like a bad porno to me.
Yeah, well, sometimes you got to overcome some people that don't see the same thing you see. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't see love and porn as synonymous. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? If you associate Captain Love straight to just, oh, well, it's all sex, You know what I mean? I would actually suggest that you question yourself and why you see things that way. Because if you actually dig into Captain Love at all, you actually realize that, you know, there's a lot more depth and a lot of there's a lot that surrounds love in a lots of different forms that surround him. In fact, you know, his love for in his love for a certain woman ended up being how he got the legend of being immortal. You know what I mean? And it kind of makes him like a you know, indifferent to a lot of different things. So, you know, the idea of love itself is played with a lot surrounding him. So he's named love appropriately. It's not just, you know, some kind of wishy-washy thing.
Mhm.
It actually like theories of love and ideas of love are, you know, basically, you know, worked into him. You know what I mean? So it's, you know, I mean, yeah, I don't want to get too much into it, but yeah, I mean, basically, if you see Captain Love as, you know, as strictly, you know, tongue in cheek, you know, and nothing more, then you're missing half of the fun. You know what I mean? Because yeah, there's titties. Hell yeah, there's titties. There's ass. There's, I mean, you know what I mean? There's no point in making a mature comic that you can't, like, you know, push those extremes a little, you know.
Right.
But at, you know, at the same time, you know, there's more to it than just that. You know, there's depth. There's, you know, I mean, sure, the series just began, but there's character development happening. There's, you know, adventure. There's, you know, all kinds of new characters being introduced. There's a lot I got planned. I mean, Rise of the Pirate King is, I mean, by the time we get to chapter 6 and the book is finished, you guys are gonna be like, holy shit, did not see that coming. You know what I mean? And it's, so it's just I would like it to happen faster. I wish that I could kick out an issue a month. You know what I mean?
Wow.
I wish I could. You know what I mean? The downside to that is producing an issue takes time,
Hmm.
and then crowdfunding an issue is an issue on its own, because the market doesn't really absorb too many campaigns from the same person.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? In like a cycle of a year. And then, and as we get more people in the community, that even becomes harder and harder, because, you know, there's just, you know, everybody wants to like to back all these books and they just don't have the money. You know what I mean? So, you know, which is why I have Captain Love priced really, 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 really friendly. I mean, if you see there, it's $15 United States. And if anybody understands how and that's shipping for US, United States is included in that price right there. So like you buy chapter 2 right now, you're going to pay $15. You know what I mean? If you're in the United States, you're paying $15.
Yeah.
And then it's going to ship to you, but you know what I mean? The shipping cost is all into that. All the shipping, the handling, the packaging, all of that stuff's all boarded up into one. Most campaigns charge $10 for shipping. So if you knock $10 off of 15, that leaves a $5 comic, which is a bagged and boarded comic with some extras that you get because you're in a, you know, you're, you know, because there's a, you know, stretch goal, you know, bonuses. That's a beautiful deal. I mean, that's an absolute deal. So if you look at the big picture of that, you know, it's I'm trying to make this irresistible for everybody, you know. So
Yeah, for sure. What I like is, you know, you touched on it. It's about it's a it's the content of the book explores love in all kinds of facets.
Mhm.
And I can't think of any book out there, CG or otherwise, that really spends time on that topic, which I find pretty fascinating. Um, so definitely eager to check this out. Do you think? All right, so you have books 1 and 2 out. Do you think it would make any sense to do fewer campaigns but do 2 chapters per campaign?
I've considered that. You know what I mean? The problem is with that is I want to get people's stuff more regular. You know what I mean? I
Yep.
don't want people to wait 6 months for another Captain Love story. You know what
Right.
I mean? I wanted to do the next 4 chapters all next year. I wanted to do all, I was going to try and do all 4 in 2021.
Oh.
4, 3, 4, 5, and 6.
Mhm.
That was my plan. When I saw that chapter 2 didn't get the kind of attention and dollars in that I was, for a combination of the pandemic, maybe oversaturation of market, who knows, you know what I mean? But it wasn't happening. So I knew I could not count on chapter 3 doing better than chapter 2. You know what I mean? Can't count on it. I can count on it doing about the same. You know what I mean? So I can gauge, how many people are going to want more chapter 2 roughly. You know what I mean? So I know chapter 3 will bring in roughly the same amount of number, and it might do better. You know what I mean? It shouldn't, unless the country takes another financial hit that's really massive. It shouldn't do worse. So I know I can count on that. So I got to work that into my business model. If it does better, that's great. But I got to count on what's, you know what I mean? I got to base my business model on what's likely. So I have a couple different things that I could do. One thing I noticed is running a 2-month campaign really didn't boost my numbers that much. You know what I mean? So I might actually only do 30-day campaigns especially if I'm going to do 4 books next year. I don't know if I can. I really don't know if I can do that because again, all this production's coming out of my pocket. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm still upside down on that stuff. So if chapter 2 was at the 10K level, right now instead of at the 5K level, I would feel more comfortable, making that investment, because I would have more of the existing investment paid back. You see what I'm saying? So I'd feel more comfortable about putting the investment out. And I mean, and this is at this point, most of Captain Love pretty much rides on credit cards at this point. You know what I mean? So everything has an interest factor as well. So the longer it takes, the more it costs.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm juggling all this stuff, trying to make beautiful comics for the world, and tell interesting stories, come at things in original ways that haven't been done before, if I can help it. You know what I mean? Maybe keep a little bit of familiarity, maybe a little tongue in cheek, and trying to do something interesting. And it's not like it's something I'm going to shelve and give up on or whatever. It's just if we want Captain Love to come out faster and more frequent, we got to put more money into it. You know what I mean? We got to sell more issues. I have larger packages. People are buying the posters, but they aren't buying enough posters. You know what I mean? To keep the numbers higher. So obviously I'm not like mad at anybody. I don't hold anybody, accountable or whatever. It's nobody's responsibility but my own. It's just really important that the whole community understands we are a community. You know what I mean? It's like I've dumped thousands of dollars into other people's books. You know what I mean? I've spent a lot of money. I could have put all that money into my own book and said, I'm not backing nobody. You know what I mean? But I believe in a lot of people in the community. I've enjoyed reading a lot of the books. I support my fellow CGers. You know what I mean? I'm hoping that my fellow CGers support me. You know what I mean? And so it's just about getting the word out. And I mean, come on, $15. I'm just saying, you know what? I go to like eat fast food at Jack in the Box, and I'm spending more than $15.
It's crazy how fast it adds up.
You know what I mean? So so it's like $15, is not that big of a purchase. You know what I mean? So but if you want to, get more and spend more and support Captain Love in a bigger way, I'm hip. I mean, I got some options for you. You can get all the posters for $60, which is a great deal because that's $10 a poster. You know what I mean? And they're shipped, and they're normally 15. And then you can get the t-shirts and the posters. You can get the t-shirts, the posters, and all 3 chapters if you don't have them. And the posters are beautiful. That one right there you're looking at is the one that Vinny drew. I have here in a frame right now because it's the only one that I have actually it's been printed so far. And then here, I'll grab it. I'll grab it. Now you got me highlighted. I might as well just boom. You see?
Oh wow. Oh cool.
Yeah, it's beautiful. You know what I mean?
Oh nice.
A lot of glare in here today, but you know that so that's the, and then we got a lot more posters, because that poster, when I put it out, it actually did pretty good. You know what I mean? People, I mean, I sold a bunch of that on Chapter 1's campaign. And and so like I was like thinking that people would want more posters. So this one's Andrea Bormida, who is the illustrator from from the first book, and Chapter 1, Chapter 2. I mean, he's the illustrator, so it's like it's his poster from Captain Love. And then underneath that is Henry Ponciato. He did the cover art on Chapter 2, and that's his depiction of Love and Jean having a drinking contest, which is a scene from Chapter 2. They actually have a drinking contest, but so it was kind of fun that he decided to take that and do that option. The next one is actually one of my favorites right now. It's Jean by herself, also by Henry Ponciato. And now this one is like, other than her trading card, this is the first time Jean has been depicted by herself. And Jean is an important part of the story. She's Love's best friend. She was, with him, for like pretty much from the beginning kind of thing. And she's also a hauler herself. So she's kind of, so she drives her own ship. She has her own thing going on, and she's a tough girl. She fought in the wars, and she fights off pirates on her own, and she's a badass. and I love this poster because it makes her look tough, but also like feminine at the same time. So she's not like a masculine tough, you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, I like that one a lot as well.
Mm-hmm. And the next one is Peter Gilmore did a throw to James Bond, and says with Venus, from Venus with Love. Yeah. Yeah, that's by Peter Gilmore. Yeah, so that's fun. I mean, there's obviously things about it that aren't quite right for the Love universe, but this is just a what would you call it? We call it a tribute piece. You know what I mean, kind of thing.
Homage.
Yeah. Homage, yeah. An homage. And now this one is the Doodle Bags Pat Maxton poster, and then scroll down, you can see it in color.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I added the color version.
Yeah, that's cool. Whoa. Let me see.
Yeah, so that's the one that he drew, and had the colorist from the series color it. So it's it's official colors, you might say, for the series. So it's it's a beautiful poster. I'm digging it. Pat's an amazing artist and a real cool dude. I like working with him. So I actually have him doing work on my new series for me right now. So
oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Chapter 2 cover art on this T-shirt.
Yes, exactly. That's the cover for Chapter 2. You can tell it's a little bit modified for the T-shirt. In fact, I have one of those right here.
Oh wow! All right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nice T-shirt. And then the Love to the Rescue T-shirt.
Oh, all right. Ah, cool. All right.
Yeah. So those shirts actually exist.
Most definitely. BoogieBot Comics says, "Hey, howdy, hey."
Hey, what's up, man? He was just on my show. We were promoting his Robert. I want to say Robert the Robot, but it's actually Robert the graphic novel.
Yeah. Right on. Yeah, Robert looks good too.
Yeah, it does. It looks really good. Very, very steampunk. Very fun.
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, it's almost a little cyberpunky diesel punk too, which is kind of cool. So, Yeah, and then the All You Need to Love T-shirt. That's the one that's been around since the very first campaign. So
Cool. And then there's about the team. There's the stretch goals.
yeah, we didn't get to the 10K stretch goal. I was really wanting to do buttons and stickers, but we just didn't get there. So, you know, I mean, if I inflated my prices, I probably could have done buttons and stickers at a lower stretch goal. But
Oh, I
you know
see.
what I mean. But I'm not inflating my prices. You know what I mean. I'm trying to keep my prices a reasonable price for everybody. So it's like stretch goals. We really got to actually hit them. But we did get the trading card and stretch goal, and we got the pinup stretch goal. So there's goodies coming. You know what I mean. And I'll probably throw in a couple extra stuff that isn't listed just because I'm silly like that.
You mentioned, welcome Brazilian Dave. Hello.
Hail.
You mentioned that the pandemic hit you hard because it it ceased your ability to go to conventions.
Right.
Do you sell Captain Love through a website as well?
No, right now I'm just selling Captain Love through the Indiegogo campaigns. I have 3 campaigns, and they're all 3 in demand now. And on the first one, you can get the Hero of the Cleansing original cover. You can get the Hero of the Cleansing variant cover. You can get the 9 Hero of the Cleansing trading cards. You can get all 9 of those trading cards that came with that campaign. Those are all available right now on the campaign for Chapter 1. Now, I don't have the variant or the trading cards available on the other campaigns. So if you want those, you have to go to that campaign to get.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, and then on the Chapter 1 campaign, there is the ability to get the obviously the Chapter 1 itself, in different variations. And then the Chapter 2 is where you'd go if you want to actually just say, I want all the books, I want all the posters, all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? So.
Okay.
Yeah. So I have no reason to close the campaigns because I'll get notifications when an order is made, and you know what I mean. It's easy to if I was getting like 100 orders a day, I might try and consolidate. You know what I mean? But at this point, I don't see any purpose in it. I'll have 20 campaigns open if they're coming in at this rate. You know what I mean? So it's manageable. You know what I mean? It's a little bit annoying. You know what I mean? But it's nice to know that people can go and order and it ships immediately and they're happy with that. At some point, I might change that up, you know what I mean? But to how that works, offer like other options on the campaigns, as other tiers, especially because, Chapter 1 ships immediately. Once Chapter 2 is printed and fulfilled, it'll start shipping immediately. You know what I mean? So, so people can get stuff immediately. It's like, why make them go to several different campaigns? You know what I mean? And I probably will, start to allow people to work that out, like maybe I don't know. It really depends. I gotta think of a business sense on it. If I make it too easy, people will put it off. That's what I've noticed. If you make it too easy, people, we'll just do it later. And then they never get around to it. So.
Oh, yeah. They just procrastinate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we gotta stop procrastinating. You need to get your Captain Love. I mean, you're gonna feel really silly when time goes by. Captain Love catches like some extreme popularity, and I sell all out of the floppies. Then you gotta wait until Rise of the Pirate King comes out in graphic novel format to start figuring out what happened before the book that you did get.
Yeah, true. I mean, you ought to just grab the catch-up tier so you're up to date on it.
Yeah, if you don't have any Captain Love yet, you definitely should grab that catch-up tier. It is a great bargain. You save money that way versus going to each campaign and buying them individually. It's also good to know for everybody. It's also good for everybody to know that You got lost there.
Yeah, seriously. Too many clicks.
There you go. Yeah, it's also that it's good for everybody to know that the most exclusive book in this series, right there, stop, is right there. That's the Vinny variant cover of the Hero of the Cleansing, right? Which is, the first volume, the backstory, right? But there was only 100 of these printed,
Oh, wow.
and there's 6 more left here.
Oh, man.
Right.
Yeah.
So if you are looking for something exclusive, and that definitely is the most exclusive book in the Captain Love arsenal, and very likely will become the most valuable collectible asset in the next 10 years.
Gosh.
Because everything else is, I mean, the variant for Captain Love, the original variant, there was 200 copies of that done, right? So that's the second most exclusive right now. But it's, there's twice as many as those. You know what I mean?
Right.
So and this one is down to the last few.
Yep, sure
You know
is.
what I mean? So there's not much left of this one, and I have I see. I think it was like 320 that went out last. I just sold one, and it went out just the other day. I forget the number on it, but there's over 50 left of the first variant. You know what I mean? So and if you want something collectors, there too. I'm not trying to knock that at all. I mean, everything is collectible at this point. But the floppies, the chapter floppies, those are very, very, very unlikely those will ever be reprinted, because I have intentions to consolidate them into graphic novel format.
Okay, all right.
You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
So I base my plan was to base how many I print of them based on the first game, right? So like chapter 1 told me how many I was going to be printing of the floppies for all the chapters. Obviously, if I have like an explosion and like chapter 3 sells 2,000 copies, you know what I mean, I'll actually up the game for chapter 3, but then that'll be it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I won't I might overrun a little bit, but I won't overrun a lot, because I will want the numbers of how many to be as close to each other as possible, and I don't want to rerun chapter 1s and rerun chapter 2s, and if I do that, it will be only in that scenario. Just that that's why I had to just I was a little wishy-washy before, and if it's going to be ever done again. So if later in the Rise of the Pirate King campaign, so in chapter 3, 4, 5, or 6, if people order more chapter 1s or chapter 2s, you know what I mean? I might do another rerun. I actually have to when I launch those campaigns, I'll have to gauge it. Right now, there's no there. You know what I mean? So let me paint this scenario so I'm not just talking out my butt here. Okay, so say chapter 3 happens, right? I have hundreds of copies of chapter 2, and hundreds of copies of chapter 1, right? Let's say that chapter 3 sells a couple thousand copies of chapter 3, and they buy up all the inventory that I have available of chapter 1 and chapter 2. Well, I would have to close those tiers that offer chapter 1 and chapter 2, you know what I mean, so that they couldn't buy more, or I would have to fulfill more to continue letting them buy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So so to not cut myself off the money, you know what I mean? If the sales go really high during this book,
Mm-hmm.
I might step up the runs of the previous floppies, but they won't be first runs. You know what I mean? So once the first runs run out, I'll go back and it says in the credits what run it is. You know what I mean?
Cool.
So if it's second run, it'll say second run. You know what I mean? And so it'll be it won't be the collector's item for the first run. And just so we know, that is a possibility. I mean, you know, the fact that that I sell more than 1,000 copies of a single chapter is a possibility. You know what I mean? So I'm not out ruling that. So if you guys really want your floppy and you want to lock down your first run floppy, you know, it's time to, you know, to get it, because you never know what's going to happen. I mean, it's obviously it would be a miracle. It's unlikely that I'd be selling 1,000 tomorrow. But you know, I have a lot of ducks in the pond, and one of those ducks might lay a golden egg. You know what I mean? And if that happens, the landscape will shift. And you know,
Wow.
I don't count on that, but I do know that it is a possibility. So
Pretty sweet. I'm going to give you the floor here. Would you share with the world how you can be found on social media?
yeah, that's actually very easy. If you look right here, you see it says the Drew Love right there. Okay, that Twitter / the Drew Love, YouTube / the Drew Love, Instagram / the Drew Love. Yeah, you guys finding a common theme here? Yeah.
Right on. You can find me on Facebook and YouTube under WyzGyz Entertainment, and also on Twitter at WyzGyz Tweets, among other areas. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Mark the bell for notifications. Wanted to thank everyone in chat for joining us. Also want to thank everyone who watches this on replay. Definitely back this book. I dropped the link again to the campaign, so check it out. And also special thanks to our very special guest, Drew Ish.
Hey man, thanks for having me on again, man. It's cool hanging out with you. You always come up with the good questions.
Oh, thank you. My pleasure. I want to have you back on a longer stream again.
Yeah, sure.
Oh my gosh, welcome, Wally.
What's up?
We're closing this. For anyone interested, I'll be on another stream in a few minutes. Got 4 more to go today. So
4 more to go.
Yep. All right. And see you all later.
Back Captain Love.
Absolutely. Back Captain Love.
Final guest that is the only person below White Holiday in the ComicsGate phone book. It's my favorite failed clone of Peter Sammetti. The YouTube translation. WyzGyz. How you doing, Conrad? Welcome to the show.